Welcome in. Percents. Student handout number 4 is called percent application. Start with the question. Number 1. First question for today. In Shrek 2, who is Shrek's love interest and eventually marries? In Shrek 2, who is Shrek's love interest and eventually marries? All right, percent application. Percents can be applied to everyday situations, which we've already talked about. You must decode the various items within the problem to understand how to solve the problem. So different instances that we're going to deal with in life. We're going to have tax. You're going to have sale price, ladies. Amount off. That's always good. That's a discount. Tips, which you're going to deal with all the time because you got to tip your waitress. If you don't tip your waitress, shame on you. Gratuity, which is the same thing as tip. And then markdowns, which is basically the same thing as amount offs. Those are things that we use in everyday life. So first of all, let's talk about tax. Does that increase or decrease the original price? It increases. Tax makes things more expensive because you take the tax and add it on top of the original amount. Sales price decreases because they give you some money off the total. Amount off obviously is a decrease. Tip is an increase. When you tip somebody, it costs you more money. Gratuity it makes them go haywire and rewrites them. Oh, that's crazy. Sorry. All right. Gratuity was an increase. And lastly, markdown is a decrease. All right. The key to solving percent problems in real life is understanding what information you are given and what you are solving for. All right, here we go. Number 1, Savannah works as a sales rep and receives $23 for every $140 she sells. What is her rate of commission? All right, so what is commission? It's right here. What is that? All right, this is what salesmen work off of. Let's pick some easy numbers in our head. We're going to ignore number 1. We're just talking about commission. What is commission? Let's say you get 10% commission. This is not this problem. You do not have to write this. I'm just explaining. Off of every $100 you sell. So if you sell a $100 PlayStation, you get to keep 10% as your commission for selling that. So how much money do you make every time you sell $100 worth? You're going to get to keep $10 because 10% of 100 is $10. Okay, that's how commission works. Now it gets a lot more complicated than that in some jobs, but that's the base of how it works, okay? All right, so she works as a sales rep, and she receives $23.80 for every 140 she sells. What is her rate of commission? Commission is a percent, okay? Commission is a percent. So what are we solving for? What is her rate of commission? What are we solving for? We're solving for the commission, which is always a percent. Is a percent. So we're solving for the commission, which is a percent, and then the information we're given is the amount of commission, the dollar amount, And then we're also given the total sales. Now, commission is a percent of the total sales. They didn't tell us the percent, so that's what we're looking for. They told us what the dollar amount was after you divided it by the percent. All right, total sales is obviously going to be the whole. And amount of commission is going to be part, because she only earns part the commission of the total sales, which is the whole. All right, so now we're going to solve it. Remember, our equation is percent, always over 100, equals part over a whole. That still hasn't changed, okay? So we're looking for the percent. The part was 2380, and the whole was 140. So you're going to solve that. How do you solve that? You can do cross product, or you can divide 140 divided by 100. You're going to get 1.4, and then you can divide 2380 by 1.42. How did I get 1.4? If you divide 140 divided by 100, guess what you get? 1.4. All right. So in your calculator, let's do it the other way. Let's do cross product. In your calculator, go 100 times 2380. Everybody do that, please. 100 times 2380. And when you get that, you are going to get 100 times 2,300. That's what you should have in your calculator. And then you're going to divide that by the number that is left, which is 140. And you're going to get 17. Remember, it was a percent, so it's 17%. All right, question number two. Question number two of the day. In Iron Man, what is Tony Stark's company called? In Iron Man, what is Tony Stark's company called? It's question number 2. All right, actually number 2 on our paper. The shoe department is offering a sale of 15% off. That's key. Off. All shoes. If Miss Jeffrey saved $12.30, how much were the shoes full price? All right. So what information was giving? How much was saved? We'll just put money saved. Is that going to be the part or the whole? It's going to be the part, because that's not the total cost. And then what else do we know? We know the percent of discount. And then what are we looking for? The full price, which is the whole. And this is the percent. All right, so we go down here and we make our equation. The part is the money saved, which was $12.30. We don't know the whole, so X goes there. And then percent is always over 100. Now, if you like doing it the method we were doing earlier and going from 12 to 15, or we're going this way now, 15 divided by 12.30, and whatever that number is, divide that by 100, you could do that. Or the way we're going to do it together is everybody in your calculator do 100 times 12.30. Keep that number in your calculator. You're going to get 1,230. take that number and divide it by 15. And you are going to get 82. Now, you don't just need to write 82. It asks how much was the full price. So it's dollars. So you need to make sure you put $82 because we're talking about money. So after you get the answer, you need to go back and see what we're talking about. Money, percent, whatever it is. All right, question number 3. Question number 3. Which boy band sang What Makes You Beautiful? Which boy band sang What Makes You Beautiful? That's number 3. All right, number 3 on our actual notes. Diego and his 3 cousins went on a road trip. They decided to add the cost of their hotel rooms throughout the trip and then split it between them. Use the chart below to determine the cost of the hotels plus, so let's highlight here, cost of the hotels plus, and then determine how much each person owes. All right. So we need to figure out which one is which. All right, the total cost. So when we add all of these numbers up right here, let's go ahead and add those up. Go 88 plus 76 plus 92. Add those up, and you're going to get $256. Okay? All right. Plus 7% tax. So if you take 250, let's hang on, the tax is what? 7%. So it goes where? Right there. Okay, equals part over the whole. What is the part? That's what the cousins owe. I don't know how much they owe, but I do know the total. The total was $256. Now I can just set it up. All right, so let's do our cross product. 7 times 256, everybody in your calculator. 7 times 256 is 1,792 divided by the number that's left. And you are going to get, each cousin owes, how many cousins were there? Three cousins. All right, so the tax was $1,790. You got to be doo-dooing me. Let's see if I can go back into it real quick. Oh my goodness. The whole thing just left. That's not how much each person owes because there's only 3 people, guys. That's the tax. We have to figure out the tax first. So the tax was $1,792. So it's the tax, $1,792, plus the cost of the hotels, which was $256. The total amount that they paid was $273.92. That was the total after tax. $273.92. Sorry. $273.92 was the total. Now, It's a Diego and his 3 cousins. So how many people are there? There are 4 people. So it is 273 divided by 4. And the total cost per person is going to be $68.48. That is the total cost per person. Now, if you don't like setting it up that way, you could take this 256, which was the total of the room before tax. You could have taken that, multiplied it times 1.07. Why? Because that means 1/2 of the cost plus 7%. So let's do 256 times 1.07, please. What did that give you? When you do 1.07 times 256, what did that give you? It gave you 273.92. Why does that work? Because this 1 in front tells me I'm multiplying times at least 1/2, and then the 0.7 is the times the percent. That's the percent add-on. So I'm multiplying by 1/2. So I'm going to have whatever, 256 plus the tax, which gave me 273.92, and then I could have divided it by 3. So if that way makes sense to you, or divided it by 4, excuse me, if that way makes sense to you, you could have done it that way. All right. Question number 4 of the day. Question number 4 of the day. Which rapper released the album Astro World? Which rapper released the album Astro World? That's number 4. All right, number 4 on a paper. A customer comes in looking for items to get started painting. Arana offers her a paint palette, a paint brush, and a sketchbook. She tells the customer that if she buys all 3, she'll give her a 15% discount. Approximately how much will the customer save? Well, first of all, let's figure out the total cost of those 3 items. So we're talking about what? A paint palette, which is $24. All right, we're talking about a paint brush, which is $10.50. And a sketchbook, which is $16.12. So that would be the total cost if there was no discount. So let's add those up. So add those up. And what do you get? So we're going to go 24, everybody do this, plus 10.50 plus 16.12. You get $50.62. That's the total that she would have paid without a discount. So how do I figure out the discount? I'm going to show you the shortcut since we're talking about percents. You can set it up like this if you like to. 15% over 100. Why? Because 15 is always over 100. The total is 50.62. So go ahead and write that. Now, we're not going to solve it that way, but I'm going to show you another way to solve it. That's one way to solve it. The other way to solve it is in your calculator. Take 50.62 and multiply it times 0.15, which we've already talked about before. And what are you going to get when you do 50.62 times 0.015? Your calculator is going to tell you 7.593, but we're talking about money, and money only goes to the second place, so we don't put that last digit. $7.59, which is the same answer you would have gotten it by doing it option 1. All right, so if she was to order those 3 items, how much would her total bill be, not including tax? So we gave her the discount, and it was $7.59. The total before discount was $50.62. How do we figure out what her price is now? We take the total minus what discount we're giving her, which is $7.59. So the total was $50.62 minus the discount. So it's $50.62 minus $7.59. And the answer is going to be $43.03. All right, number 6. Before we do that, let's answer question number 5. Question number 5 of the day. Question number 5. Question number 5 of the day. Who is the lead singer of the band Maroon 5? Who's the lead singer of the band Maroon 5? And question number 6 of the day. Question number 6 of the day. Which artist is famous for songs Old Town Road and Montero? Which artist is famous for the songs Old Town Road and Montero? All right, number 6 on our work. Part of Ariana's earnings are based on a 5% commission rate. At the end of the day, she earned $14.98 in commission. So Ariana earned, let's highlight this, $14.98. So he gets a 5% commission. So what is the total? Again, we can set it up as percent and then part over whole. So the percent was 5. The part was $14.98. And then I don't know the whole. So I could solve it that way. All right, so let's go ahead and solve it. 100 times 14.98 is 1,498. And then divide that by 5. And you're going to get $299. Now, we're talking about money, so it goes to the second decimal place, so you need to add that 0, okay? Because your calculator would just have given you what I'm writing in black. This is what your calculators gave you. Okay, notice they're leaving out the 0 there. You need to put it because we're talking about money. All right, number 7. Miss Jasmine, an art teacher, would like to purchase enough supplies to get the class stocked. He picks up 8 dozen. So how many's in a dozen? There's 12 in a dozen. So 8 times 12 is 96. So he got 96 sketch pencils. 6 dozen. 6 times 12 is 72. So he got 72 colored pencils. And he got 3 dozen. 3 times 12 is 36. So you got 36 art gum erasers. If the sales tax rate is 8%, how much will this bill be? All right. So we need to figure out how much each is. Sketch pencils are $4.60 per dozen. Okay, so they're already in dozens. So are art gum erasers, and so are color pencils. So let me erase all that because they already priced them in dozens, which is perfect. All right, so the sketch pencils are $4.60 per dozen times the 8 dozen he got. Okay, that's going to give us sketch pencils. The color pencils are $7.88 a dozen times 6 dozen, which is he's getting. And then the last thing is art gum erasers, which are $6.54 a dozen. And he's getting 3 dozen of those. All right, so now let's just work that out. 460 times 8 is $36.80. 788 times 6 is $47.20. And 654 times 3 is $19.62. Now, let's figure out what his total bill would be. So you're going to add those up, $19.62 plus $47.20 plus $36.80. His total bill is $103.62. Now, I hadn't added tax yet. So in your calculator, I'm going to show you the easy way to figure out the total bill. Okay, the total bill. Did I type something wrong? 80, 20? I feel like I typed something wrong somewhere. Yes, 47.28, my bad. So that's 70. My bad. All right. To figure out his total bill, it is 2 ways to do it. You can figure out the tax first and then add the tax back in, or you can do it in one step on your calculator. And here's how you do it on your calculator. You take the total amount before tax and multiply it times 1 point whatever the tax is, which is 8%. Remember, tax is over 100, so it's 8 over 100, which is 0.08. It is not 0.8. That is 80% right there. That's 80%. This is 8%. The one I have circled in green, that's 8%. So my decimal would be 1.08 times 103.70. So let's do that. 103.7 times 1.08. Your calculator is going to spit out this number right here. Now, we round. When they give us 3 numbers, we round. This 6 tells that 9 to go what? Up to a 0, but we're going up from 99 to 100, so what does that tell the other 9 to do? It goes up, and we end up with $112 is the answer. All right, number 8. The last customer of the day is a loyal customer who brings in $15 off. She purchases 2 paintbrushes, 1 dozen color pencils, 1 sketchbook. What percentage did she save? So we just want the percentage, not the total, by using her coupon. All right. So let's figure out the total. We have the part already. The part is $15. Okay, we need the total. So let's add all of those up. All right. 2 paintbrushes are $10.50. We're going to times it times 2. 1 dozen colored pencils, $7.88, and then 1 sketchbook. And the sketchbook is $16.12. All right, so let's add all those up. $10.50 does twice because she got 2 of those. So $10.50 plus $10.50 plus 7.88 plus 16.12. When you add all of those up, it's $45. All right. The percent is what we're looking for. Part was the $15, and the whole was the total cost, which was $45. So now all we're going to do, 100 times 15 divided by 45. And you get 33 repeating. Remember, we're talking about percent, so we need to put it as a percent. All right. Question number 7 of the day. What band released the song Believer in 2017? What band released the song Believer in 2017? And the last one, number 8 for today. Which artist had a hit with the song Rockstar featuring 21 Savage? Which artist had a hit with the song Rockstar featuring 21 Savage? All right. I'm not telling you the answers. I'll give you the answers live and in person. All right. Adios, amigos.